Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm back. I know I committed to doing more of these, and every day is not a put makeup on and be in front of you day. So I thought I would do it today. So happy Tuesday. It is February 27th. And if you listen to the podcast, today's topic was the formula of self sabotage. So I want to talk about that a little bit in regards to, um, I put 3 feet from gold was our little topic today. It comes out from Think and Grow Rich. We're working on it in the mastermind. Doug and I are working with it again. This is like my fourth time through this book, but it's an amazing time. And I think I shared that on Instagram a couple months ago when I picked it up for the first time. And it sort of blew my mind because of how I have grown and how I hear it differently now than before. So, hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. If you listen to the podcast, you know that I'm in like we're the week before I start a rewire and evolve program, rewiring your core wound patterns, evolving beyond your story, 3 or 6 months. And if you're someone who's put an application in, please, please, please check your spam if you haven't heard from me, or email me back because there are 3 days left to have a conversation with me to join this next rewire program. And I don't know that there'll be another one this year because I need a 6 month time frame to extend it out for those who want to continue the process. Okay, Think and Grow Rich. So let's talk about 3 feet from gold and self sabotage. I'm not going to repeat what I said today on the podcast. So if you don't listen to the podcast, I recommend you do. Again, it's the formula of self sabotage. But I just want to read the little section here that's 3 feet from gold. It says one of the most common causes of failure is the habit of quitting when one is overtaken by temporary defeat. Every person is guilty of this mistake at one time or another. And I want to talk about temporary defeat here and how it relates to core wounds, how it relates to being triggered, how it relates to emotional healing and emotional health. So if you haven't heard me speak or been at one of my events or been on one of my classes, I've created a saying. It's a quote. It's mine. And it goes like this. Healing is when you're different in the same situation. It's not avoiding. You know, I hear that some people, oh, well, here's what created my disease and my stress. I had a terrible marriage and I hated my job and I was in a really toxic environment. And then I left all those things and I healed. Yes. And you took you with you. So those things were circumstantial. They were outside of you. And now you left those environments and now your body has less stress. It can heal itself. You're like, okay, cool. This feels really good. But it leads people to believe that if I control my circumstances, then I'll be healthy, then I'll be less stressed. But it comes from within. It doesn't come from out there. Because if you're in a bad situation, you put yourself in that bad situation. And I'm not blaming you. There's no shame. But if you don't accept responsibility for the situation, and then it happens again, and then it happens again, and they look different, and it happens again, who's the common denominator? Well, you are, of course. So when it comes to self-sabotage, when it comes to, and this is not just about right now, we're not just talking about money. We're talking about all things: healing, health, relationships, money, career, business success, joy, ease. Do you know that many people don't even feel comfortable feeling happy? Think about that. Think about how many people you know in your life that just don't trust feeling happy. They don't know how to feel good. They can't sustain it. They're so used to being in a negative momentum of worry and things going wrong and expectation of bad things. If you don't know how to hold joy and happiness for a longer period of time, and if you're here on Facebook while I'm doing this, because this is going to be in a few different places, feel free to ask a question if you have one. But I'm not going to be terribly long. I just wanted to come on, say hello today, and give you something to think about when it comes to 3 feet from gold. Where are in your life do you keep stopping 3 feet from gold? Do you stop when you get closer to somebody, start to get vulnerable, and then you fear repeating your patterns? So you self-sabotage, shut down, run away, and just decide that it's not the right person, it's not the right time, it's not the right situation. Or with your business, where you put yourself out there and nobody says anything, no one's responding, you have no likes, you have no comments, and you think, well, nobody's listening, nobody cares. Are you quitting because you're not getting instant feedback right then and there? Is it in your health when you feel like you've done all the physical things? and you just feel like there is no answer. Well, there may not be a physical answer. There may be a spiritual and emotional answer. So what's one of the exciting and fun things that I'm doing right now is putting together a summit. It's going to be happening in April. I'll tell you more about it later. It's called the Consciousness Upgrade. And there are a lot of really fun people coming to participate in this summit. And when it comes to, I've had a couple no's, people that can't participate, but I didn't stop doing it. We have to be able to accept that on this journey of whatever road you're on, whatever path you're on, to healing, to happiness, to success, to business, to relationships, it doesn't really matter because they're all the same in the end. Who you are in one scenario is literally who you are in another. Even if you change personality types, you still have the same core wounds. You still have the same upper limits. You still have the same fears and triggers. So until we get in there and rewire those, we fix those, we heal those, we give you what you need. You get what you need. You learn how to get what you need. When you get to that level where you self-sabotage, where you stop 3 feet from gold, you'll have the tools. You'll understand how to move into what you want next. But if you continue telling the same story that keeps you stuck, if you tell the same story over and over again that keeps you in the exact situation that you're not loving, I get that it's scary. Yeah, I get that you could fail. But you have to ask yourself, am I willing to live 99 years, or am I living the same year 99 times? Am I repeating things every year and hoping somehow I'm going to be happier? Am I hoping something's going to fall from the sky and change for me, that some miraculous thing is going to happen, even though I haven't changed in my inner workings? So in this chapter, it's the first chapter of Think and Grow Rich, and the chapter is called Thoughts Are Things. Thoughts are things. They have to be vibrational before they're manifested into physical reality. It has to be an idea before it becomes a thing. What you think about, you bring about. What you think becomes material if you think about it enough. Now, not every thought. And that's basic law of attraction kind of stuff and quantum physics. But if you would treat your thoughts and the stories that you tell yourself in a way that if you just knew that everything you thought you instantly created, how would you change how you think about yourself? So I just want you to ask yourself today, everybody, in every way, shape, or form, and if you want to write it underneath this video, I'd love to hear it. Where do you stop 3 feet from gold? Where in your life? Where do you not allow yourself to do more, go further, break a pattern? There are reasons why you don't, and I cover that in our courses, but regardless of why you don't, do you want to still repeat the same patterns over and over again? If you haven't read this book, I definitely recommend it. I recommend having it, keeping it, and reading it every couple of years, because hopefully you're on a growth trajectory and every year you're growing a little bit more. And if you're growing a little bit more, then you're going to hear it differently. I heard it differently a couple months ago when I picked it up again, and I was astounded by how I heard it differently. I'm doing affirmations that I used to do every year in the car, every day when I would drive for years. And then I didn't do them for years. And now we're in a manifestation challenge right now. There are 3 days left in this challenge. 2 days left. What's today? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 2 more days after today in this challenge. And it's amazing how I'm living this now. Back then I wasn't living it, and I did it anyway, but I didn't do it not believing I'd never get there. I did it with the intention that I would be living this, but now I am living this, a lot of it. So it's really fun to revisit it and say, yeah, I am. Wow, that's cool that 15 years ago I wasn't, but today I am. So where do you stop yourself 3 feet from gold? And where can you recommit yourself to push past, to believe, to decide to believe that there is more for you if you want it? And of course, reach out if you want to know what kind of help you can get to get there. Would love to help you get there.